Hi y'all, welcome back. Today I am making some drop biscuits and I'm bringing you along. So in the bowl I have 4 cups of flour. It's not sifted. You can go ahead and sift it if you'd like. I normally just try to knock out biscuits pretty quick, so I've just got 4 cups of flour in there. To that I am going to add 4 teaspoons of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt. What I'm using is Himalayan pink Himalayan salt, but you can use whatever salt you prefer. And I'm going to go ahead and give those dry ingredients a quick little mix. To that, I am going to add a half a cup of water and 2 cups of homemade yogurt. And the water is because the yogurt, I don't know if you can see, it's so thick. So 1 cup of yogurt, 2 cups of yogurt. And if you see it's not precise. It's very forgiving. And I'm just going to mix this, guys. And normally I use a bread whisk. It's a metal bread whisk that I use to mix this, but it makes so much noise on this metal bowl that I decided to go with this silicone spatula, but it's not normally what I use to mix. But you can use whatever you're comfortable mixing with. And then I will just go ahead and mix this till all that flour is incorporated and I don't have any dry flour. And as you can see, that yogurt was pretty thick. I probably could have used a little bit more water, but I'll just go ahead and get that flour mixed in with what I have. But that's it, guys. And if you didn't want to use the water, then you can just add more yogurt. But I find that that water kind of thins out the yogurt a little bit, and it works. But you can see all that dry flour on the bottom, so I'm just having to work that in. If I didn't want to work it in, I could add a tad bit more water. And if I had a tad bit more water, I'd be done mixing. And you can see the way this dough is. You could actually, if you wanted to roll these out, you could. But I'm not a big fan of the rolling out of the biscuits. I do it sometimes if I'm trying to make it pretty, but I'm not. So, you see that? It's a shaggy dough. Shaggy dough. Shaggy. So we're going to go ahead and those are ready. And let's see if I can get some of this stuff out of the way so that you can actually see. There's my tray. And then I'm going to just go ahead and scoop my biscuits. This is just a regular ice cream scoop. And I just scoop them. I leave a little bit of room in between. Sometimes they touch, sometimes they don't touch. It doesn't matter if they touch, just pull them apart. And it's just this easy, guys. While I've been talking to you, I have the oven was preheating at 425. It is done preheating. It is good to go now. And then we will put these in there for 12 to 15 minutes. This is just how simple it is. And I forgot to mention, if you have self-rising flour, then you would not need the salt and the baking powder. I don't buy self-rising flour. I rather just add my baking powder and my salt and make my own self-rising flour, because I store flour for a long time, and baking powder doesn't have a long shelf life. So you're talking a couple of years, and then it loses the power to rise your food. So I just add my baking powder and my salt when I'm going to use it, and that way I don't have to worry about it. Now, that half a cup of water that I put in there, if you wanted to use milk for that, you can, absolutely. I just used the water. If you've watched my other video on biscuits, which has that metal on metal, so not good audio, but if you've watched that one, that was just what we did right here, except that it wasn't with the yogurt. It was actually with just the water. I'll try to get every last little bit. And that's it for that. These are going to go in my preheated oven, preheat it to 425. I'm going to put these in there 12 to 15 minutes, and then I'll take them out and see you back. All right, guys, and this is 15 minutes later, 425. And if you can see, they didn't brown very much, but we don't have any oil or butter or anything like that. Really, the fats that we have in there is just from the yogurt. You know, if I wanted it to brown a little bit more, I could have probably added a little bit of baking soda, and that would have made it brown a little. But I'm okay with this because this is just, we're going to eat this. So normally you just want to let them sit for just a few minutes. That's what it looks like. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut into it and show you how nice and fluffy they are. I'm going to go ahead and use the fork though, because I know this is super hot. And you probably already know this, but if you try to cut into bread when it's still steaming and hot and you haven't let it rest, it just kind of crumbles. As you can see, this is crumbling. It just doesn't cut as good as if you let it sit. But I wanted to show you, so that's what I'm doing. I'm being a little impatient and cutting into it and have it crumble, which is probably not good. I should just wait. You see the steam, but you see it's just all broken apart. It broke apart, but guys, that's because it's so hot. I need to let it cool. But look at this. And yeah, of course you can put butter on this if you'd like, but I think I'm going to give it a minute because it's so hot. That is good. It's just so nice and fluffy and soft. And I've mentioned before, I like making these with sour cream as well. That just gives it just extra flavor. But these right here, you can't even really taste the yogurt. You can't taste the sourness of the Greek yogurt. They're just really good. That's it, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Till next time.